Okay, so hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to do character animations. So I've got a pre-set up sheet here for Link and a world map, and I'm going to show you both how to do it in 2D format and a pseudo 3D format. Okay, but first we'll start with 2D format. So my sprite sheet is set up as a sprite multiple. Then I'm going to go to sprite editor. And these guys are pretty well spaced out, so I can just use the automatic slice. And if I click on this button, I'll be able to see the outlines. So it looks like it got it pretty well. So I can just apply and close. And now if I expand this, I've got all of my animations separated as separate images. So I can create an animation from this by clicking on the frames that I want, right clicking, going create animation, and then I want to give this a name, Link Walk Right. Okay, so next we're going to do the walk up. So we select all the frames for walk up, we create animation, Link Walk Up. Okay, next is Link Walk Down. Okay, so next we've got the shield set animations. So we're going to go and create the animations for that. So Link Shield Walk Down. Create Link Shield Walk Up. Link Shield Walk. Is it down? That was right. Yeah. Okay. Then we've got his attack animations. So create animation, Link Attack Down. Then we've got Link Attack Up. And finally, Link Attack Right. Okay, so now we've got our animation sets. We can go and grab a link to bring into the world. So there we go. We're going to put him at 0, 0, 0, scale him down. Let's drag him up a bit. Let's put him like over here. Okay, and now we want him to be in front because you'll see that sometimes he phrases out. So we're going to put our background on 0, so order in layer. I'm going to put Link, just going to rename him to Link, on 1, so that he's in front. Okay, and that should be good enough. I'll put a camera follow, actually no, it's fine, I'll just leave it as is. I'll drop the camera into Link. And 0 it out. There we go. Cool. So now we have Link. And he's in the world. We want to put some animations onto him. So what we can do is we can just simply drag one of our animations onto Link, and it will create this character animator, okay, which is called the Mixamo system. Okay, now we can drag all of our animations. All of them. I'm just going to put this up here. Drag all of our animations into here. Get rid of the duplicate. And now they are all on our character. I'll put this back down here. And animation. If I go back to animation and I click on Link, you'll see that they are now listed here. So I can play them and we'll see them happening. So we want to stop his feet from wandering. So see how he's not moving? On the up, that's great. Right, that's perfect. Down, that's great. Walk up, that's good enough. Right, good enough. Down, perfect. Attack. Okay, see how he's moving? His physical position is moving, so we're going to go and fix that. So we're going to go back to our project, going to go back to our sprite sheet, and we're going to fix it so that his attack doesn't cause his feet to move. So what we can do is we can put it like on his belt. So that's something that doesn't really move, oops, throughout the entire animation. So if I apply, and this is attack down, so now if I go to animation and play the attack down, you'll see that now his feet stay still. So to do that for the attack right, see how he slowly just moves back, shuffles backwards. We're going to just fix that. So in this one, it's going to be on his ear. So just keeping it sort of on the same position. So apply. And now when we click and play the animation, you'll see that he's still moving a bit back because his head is staying still, but now his body's moving back. So we're going to need to go and use his body instead. So we're going to drop this down to just behind his arm instead. And try that. There we go. So now his body's staying still. And finally, the up animation. Same thing. I'm just going to use the middle of his body. Oops. Okay. Apply. Click play, and there we go. This one here. Because he's leaping forward. I think this needs to be brought down a bit. Even more. Because he's sort of leaping forward in this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. So now all of those animations are set up. We want to go to our animate tour. We want to create a blend tree. And this blends the animations together. Hope we do. Okay, so we're going to make this our default state. And double click to go inside of it. Okay, now up here on the top right, we've got a couple of options. So 1D would of course be, if it was just left to right, one direction. 2D, simple direction, is up and down, left and right, simple. Freeform is if you've got like sort of a 360, and freeform Cartesian is if you've got like serious amounts of animations. We don't really need that. And direct is just, oh yeah, so 1D would be left and right, and direct is just from left to right. But we're going to use 2D simple direction because we put it up and down and left and right. And we're going to go and see how it's asking for parameters. We're going to go and give it some parameters here on the bottom left, name for name. That's going to be a float. So we're going to give it a horizontal. and a vertical. Okay, so those two, and then you do give them in the same order, horizontal and vertical. And then we can click on the plus and give it a motion field 4 times. 3, 4. There we go. And then you want to lay them out on this map. So X is left and right, Y is up and down. And that's why we do it horizontal and vertical. Because you're feeding it, the X is horizontal, the Y is vertical. So same order. So X, if we give that a 1 and a 0, it will be on the right hand side. And if similarly we give it a -1 and a 0, it's on the left. We're going to 0 these two out. And Y up, -1 down. Cool, so now we have up, down, left, right. We're going to feed it those animations. So if you click on this field, you'll be able to see that it's highlighting the right one. So we're going to give it a link walk right. And we'll get to the left just now. We're going to go and click here. We're going to give it up and down. Okay, so now we get to the situation with walking left. Okay, so when it comes to now doing the left-hand walk, there's no other way of doing it other than creating the frames that walk left, but that increases the amount of space that you need. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to select right again, and when it comes to coding, what we're going to do, just put that on 1, what we're going to do is we're going to actually flip the character around in our actual walk code. So for now, the left and right will do the exact same thing. And so if we're walking, if we go right, we'll do the same thing. But if we go up, it works, and if we go down, it works. So that's all great. Sure, turn that off. Okay. So now we're going to actually go and feed our character his controls. So we're going to go and grab an FSM. And go and edit it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go and grab our inputs, which Unity gives it to us already, which is stored under axis. So we're going to get that, and it's called horizontal, and we're going to store that as horizontal as well. We can just duplicate that, and the next one is vertical, and new variable vertical, and we can get those every frame, which is great. And we're going to feed them into our animator. So we're going to set animator float. If whenever we created 2 floats, so we're going to use the owner, and we're going to go and grab horizontal. We're going to feed it our new horizontal. And if we wanted to, you could dampen the time to create like a sort of slow move effect, but for us we just want to snap. We want to do that every frame, and we're also going to do it for vertical and vertical. Cool. So now if we click play, you'll see here in our game screen, if we go up, if we go down, if we go right, and if we go left, it'll still be the same animation. So one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that our animations can loop. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to select the animations and say loop time. So except for the attacks, we don't want the attacks to be looped. So for now I'm just going to do the walks, and we'll come back to the rest when we need them. So walk, there we go. So there we go, so now he's doing his animation, go up, go down, left. Okay, so left is still something we need to fix. Okay, so we still need to fix the walk link left. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go and grab his walk right. We're going to go and create an animation. We're going to go link walk left. Okay, and inside our animation tab, if we select the link walk left, which is not here because it's not on the animator tab, so we can just actually go and select it here. And if we just edit walk link left, yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's still playing the right hand animation, which is not what we want. What we can do, so remember if we click the record tab, anything we do to our character will be added to the animation. One thing that can be is if we hit flip X, it rotates them to go the opposite way. So now we have a walk left, which is great. One thing we need to remember to do is just go back to your right and make sure that you hit record and turn it on and turn it off, so that it remembers that this version is not mirrored. So right, left. There we go. So simple fix for a simple problem. So now when we click play, left, right, up, down. Okay, but now it's just playing this animation. So what we're going to do is just going to go back to Animator. Going to add one more motion field, and we're just going to create an idle animation. And that is, I'm just going to go and grab the one where he's just looking down, like he's standing normally, this one. And we're just going to create an animation just from a single frame called idle. And now I'm going to add it here and just put it at 0, 0. So when he's not moving, he just stands still. There we go. Left, right, up, down. We forgot to turn the loop on the walk left. Let's just go and make a list. There we go. Walk left. Loop. Cool. So left, right, up, down. And that's the simple basics. Okay, so now for some more advanced stuff. Let's actually get him moving. So we're going to go back to our playmaker. And we're getting all of this, and now we actually want him to move from that. So one thing we can do is we can set his velocity. Set velocity 2D. Use owner, and the vector it's looking for is an X and Y. So we're going to feed it horizontal and vertical and set that to every frame. And now rigid body, that helps. Okay, there we go. Put a rigid body back on. And now you'll see that he's sliding down because he's got gravity. So we're going to go and remove gravity, 0. So now he stays still, and now he walks around. Okay, so this is all simple stuff from class, but this is all using the 2D method and not the 3D method. Okay, so next we want to go and give him some collision. So we'll go and add a capsule collider 2D, and that's great. And then let's go and if we turn the 2D's off here, we can go and add some 2D sprite. Go and add some capsule colliders, box colliders, just around the map. So I'm just going to go and get a box collider, increase its size, turn the 2D back on just so I can see what I'm doing. Just going to go and put, do I have like a box that I can use? There we go, that's great. Okay, so why can't I see? Let's just go and remove this and add it again. There we go. Cool. Oh, I was using offset, that's why. Okay, so go and put these around. I'm just going to go and call this collision, and I'm going to get rid of that sprite renderer. There we go. Copy paste. Copy paste. So now if I click play, our collisions should work. Oh, okay, so there's another bug. When you collide with something, you start rotating. To stop that, on your link character, go to your rigid body and freeze under constraints his rotation. So now he can't rotate. So there you go. That problem solved, and our character has collision. Although he can't actually fit underneath that. Okay. So yeah, we'll just have to make these holes a bit smaller. So let's go, yeah. Just make that a bit lower. I think it's the ones where I've taken the bricks and added them. So let's start from here. Yeah, there we go. So our character can actually touch these. Or should I say stand over them. Okay, there we go. Also, another good trick just to remember is on your player, just take his caps collider and make it smaller than he is. Also makes it harder for enemies to hit your player, but it also makes it so that your player can actually go through some places. Okay. Here we go. Now it also sort of makes sense where he's walking. Cool. So next we wanted to start doing some more complex things. So let's talk about transferring from one blend tree to another. For that, we're going to say if our character sort of picks up a shield, and to do that, I'm going to go and get us a shield. Okay, so I'm back. I've got a shield. So I'm going to go and set this to be a sprite. Apply. And drag it in game. Okay, so let's go and say that our character needs to pick this up. And when he does, his animations will transform into a set that has the shield. So we're going to put a box collider on it. Yep. And we're going to go and give it a tag shield. There we go. Go back to our game, tag it with shield, and that should be good enough. So now if our player walks up to it, there we go. So there we go, he hits it. Okay, we want it to be a trigger, so he can walk over it. Cool. Okay, so now we go to our playmaker for our character, and we're going to make a trigger event 2D. On trigger, enter shield, send event, pick up shield. Cool. I'm going to add that transition, and I'm going to send that to a second state. Cool. So we can test this out. We'll physically see it go from state 1 to state 2. There we go. It's now in state 2. So we want a couple of things to happen. First of all, we're going to need to go and set up a second blend tree. So we're going to go back to Animator, back to our base layer, and we've got our first blend tree. I'm going to name this one normal walk. And now I'm going to go and create a new blend tree. And I'm going to call this one shield walk. I'm going to make a transition that goes from one to the other. And I'm going to say that there's a condition that needs to be met, and that condition is going to be a boolean, because boolean is yes or no. So boolean is shield. Okay, and we're going to say that if shield is true, it can go into the shield walk. And this is exactly what we just did. So we're going to set up some new ones. We're going to go and feed it the animations. So shield, walk up, shield, walk down, shield, walk right. And I need to go and make a idle and a left. So back here, zoom in. Go and grab the shield right, which is this one. Yeah, there we go. We're going to go and create an animation. Link, shield, walk left. And then I just want an idle. So this one's good enough. So create animation, link, shield, idle. Cool. So now I can go back to my animator. I can go and grab those. Shield, walk left, and shield, idle. So go and put those in the correct places. Up is 1, down is -1, right is 1, oops, is 1, this is -1, and 0, and 0, 0. Cool. Same things again. We're going to feed it the horizontal, then the vertical. And that's all done. So now we want to feed it the information that it can go to the next one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our playmaker. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the animator boolean shield. So if you notice that sometimes if you click here and it doesn't show up, just play the game once, quit out, and now you should see it listed. It just needs to refresh. I'm going to set that value to true every frame. And what we can literally do is we can just go and grab all of the other code that we put before and paste it here. And so now our character can walk around, and when he picks up the shield, he's now got the shield. Oh yeah, and then we just need to go and fix the left and right animations. And also, don't forget to set these animations to loop. There we go. Walk down, walk left, walk right, walk up, animation, on link, shield, walk right. We want to record, turning us on off, and shield, walk left, set that to true. So left, right, now he's got the shield. Cool. How cool is that? Although for some reason he's doing a weird little jiggle. Let's go and check what that's all about. Shield, walk left. Oh. I didn't record that. And shield, walk right. Okay. So, I can turn that off now. There we go, that's better. Cool. So now let's talk about attacking. Yeah, also what I can do is just to be fancy about it. Go into actions and I can destroy object. And here in the trigger event I can store, that is the shield, and I can destroy the shield. So now when I just walk over it, I pick it up and it disappears from the game. So there's just a little bit of extra check. Okay, cool. So we can actually go name this normal, and this one shield. Okay, and now we want to attack. So let's say that instead of just picking up the shield, he picks up the sword and the shield, and so we'll only do it once he's got the shield, but you can do the exact same coding inside both of them if you want to. But because the animations have the shield, it just makes sense to say that he has the shield, sword and shield. So we now want to trigger the ability for him to do some of these attacks. So I'm just going to just move these guys out the way. But we want his attack up and his attack down, his attack right. Okay, those can actually just be deleted for now because they exist here in these two. Okay, so we've got attack up, attack right, attack down. We're going to go and make a left, and we don't need an idle for this. So again, just going to go and grab the frames that I need. So here's attack right, goes to here, create animation, link, attack, left. I'm going to go to the animation. We just need to make sure that we add it. So it's going to go link, attack, left. Just for the sake of being neat, what I'm doing is I'm going to just put them up here like this. Cool. Okay, so then we need to go to animation. So attack right, record, turn that off so that it's unticked here. Then attack left, record, turn it on. Cool, so now this one plays like that. And the attack right plays like that. Cool. So we're going to go back to our animator, and we now need to make transitions to each of these, and we need to also transition back once they're done. Oops. Nope. So what we're technically doing is we're going to shoot into this animation, and once it's done, shoot back down. So to do that, just do a once-off animation. You go and create a parameter that's a trigger. So we're going to call this one attack, and that should be good enough. Okay, so we're just going to trigger it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the horizontal and vertical to figure out which one of those are we going to fire off. So if we click on the arrow that's going in the direction, we're just going to use up for now. We're going to turn off exit time so it goes straight into that animation. There's no blending. And under conditions, we're going to go and grab the attack. And so it doesn't have anything, like the minute the attack fires, it's going to go in. What we're going to do is we're going to go and add a second condition. We're going to say if vertical is greater than 0.1, so the minute that you're hitting W or up, it's going to be 1. So we know that immediately it's better than 0.1. But we don't want it to be 0 because that's idle. So we definitely want it to be anything from 0.1 to 1. And same thing for all the rest of them. When you want to get the animation to go back to the shield walk, make sure that they do have an exit time. And just make sure that instead, this is set to 0. Okay, so we're just going to put those back on and just drag this bar, like that's the blend time, back to 0. Because we do want it to exit, we want that exit to be quick. Cool. So one of the other things I just want to do is just here in the playmaker, just want to make sure that you set, I wanted to set his velocity during the attack just to be 0. Just so that he stops moving. Okay. So, no, that's right. It does it so quick that it doesn't actually matter. So technically what I could do is I could say actions, wait. So it just waits for the animation to finish. It's a little bit too long. Maybe like 0.7. There we go.